This is 637 the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored for a schus for a full shlema for your son Ezra ben Chana Feigel. Should have a full shlema bin Hera. Today we are doing the Siman Shin Ayin Aleph, Sif Hey, the Siman Shin Ayin Beis, Sif Dalet. Hey, if somebody remember the yard died on Shabbos, but when you have bnei base basically, and he remembers his house on his house. Even if somebody from the marketplace, not from the Chutzer, inherited his place, and he comes into on Shabbos to live there, and also he doesn't forbid. He himself not make a Erev in this Chutzer. The Shabbos once became mutter, came mutter. Shegam in ben Chutzer Yerushanu. Truth is, even if somebody from the Chutzer inherits him, Gam can circle Maratam say. You also have to say this logic. The mitam eruva ein moil. His eruv was not going to work. The extended guy can't make an eruv shayarash b'Shabbos. He inherited on Shabbos. Lo chola al zeh ha'eruv shayir me'esmo, and the eruv which was made yesterday doesn't would not be effective for him. The Amarish Rave, if the person who bequeathed the land, the bais, did not make the eruv, Yoshua Echad Mashuk, and somebody from the marketplace inherited them, calls Manchlo Bala Durbo, as long as he doesn't come to live there, ain't no sir. Bala Durbo, but Shabbos is sir, but if he comes to live on Shabbos, he forbids because the person who died did not participate in eruv. So the person who died did participate, that participation on Shabbos passes on to the Yoresh. The person who died did not participate, so if the Yoresh doesn't come on Shabbos, not a problem. If he comes on Shabbos, then he asks for the rest of Shabbos. In this case, can't say since he was mutter because mutter. Because the Shabbos. It wasn't mutter at the beginning of Shabbos because the person made the bequest did not participate in the Eruv. If a member of the yard inherited. Also, he asks us even if he doesn't enter the other fellow's house, since he lives in the Chutzer, he forbids the rest of the Chutzer. So on the base of this house, Shalo Erev Me'erev Shabbos Allow. He didn't participate in making an Erev on Erev Shabbos. But that's only if the heir did not live together with the deceased. Aviyadar Mori should be lived with the person who left in the bequest. Thus, Erev Shabbos go Erev, and on Erev Shabbos he already participated in Erev. And Mele Nichlas by Erev, so this Erev is automatically include this house, and it already includes Erev. They ain't called Torah, but by Sechel Tzichem Klum by Erev. Not all the people dwelling in the house have to give a part to the Erev. In my Morish Mason Bod Yom, what if the person who died left the bequest died before Shabbos? Yoshua HaShulchan from the marketplace inherited him. Nichlas on the Shabbos, he comes on Shabbos, so he also forbids. And doesn't come into live there, and also doesn't forbid. Yoshua HaShulchan if a man of the Chutzer inherited Erev Shabbos, not on Shabbos. Shabbos we just said before, the Ben Chutzer is like another person unless he actually lived together with the person making a bequest. But if you inherit on Erev Shabbos, Mutar, when he gives a portion of the Erev, this includes also his second house in the Chutzer. Came with Sherish Miyavodion since he inherited from before Shabbos began. The Yoresh Yachol about the Rishus. An heir can negate his Rishus, which is a unique process which we'll talk about when we get there. Vav, he saw the Ger Shudarim Chutzer Ibu Yachad. A Jew and a Ger were living together in a Chutzer, and the man Erev. Mason already the Ger dies before Shabbos begins. So his property becomes hefker upon his death. So let's say none of the Jews ceases that property. V'darsham lives there. Even didn't go there until after nightfall. It forbids the carrying. We don't say Shabbos well. What's began by there it means mutter. Who should be Shabbos, and that should be mutter when he retroactively. When he has the Shabbos from the time Shabbos began, Kedain dira b'lo like any dira which had any jumbas that had no owner at the time the Erev was made. Lo me'aken, we don't say that. Davaya royally because of Shabbos. Since you could have come in there on Shabbos. Lo me'aken, the Davaya royally because of Shabbos. Since you could have come on Shabbos. Lo na mishiyatza mi beso. It's not like somebody who left his house for Shabbos. The Shamar Yatzal Dash Chazor. He left without any intent of coming back, or with the intent of not coming back. But on the contrary, close shot to shot the Mizumni Kalis, but he can come any moment. Below oh now this feeling Chasik Bab Shabbos. So that's where he was machzik from Erev Shabbos. That let's participate in the Erev. It's no good because he can come on Shabbos any time and then Aser. But that's not only that. If he sees the gear spider on Shabbos again to live, we don't say since it was mutter, he remains mutter. Least close by because he could have got it before Shabbos began. And therefore, his that this part of the yard should be included. Erev was not clear before Shabbos because any moment somebody else could come. Only becomes clear after Shabbos, by which time it's too late. I'm an amazing Shabbos, but the person leaving the bequest died on Shabbos. The new guy taking over it, even he goes in, does not forbid it. Because when Shabbos came in, it was still permitted because the participation of the gear and the Erev. We say so once it became mutter, it remains mutter. But as we shall see, the person who inherits can negate his domain like any other heir. And if the ger did not participate in the heir, is by the mean that it's explained by the previous halachos. The difference ben ger lacher. There's no difference between ger and anybody else in this respect. The only difference is when he died, and has no, and since he was ger, he has no heirs. Halachic. Zayin. Echem nechotzer shu goyses mido Shabbos. A man of the chotzer is dying on Erev Shabbos. Harei zos koman shlomei. As long as he doesn't die, he asers. Because somebody's dying, is life for all matters. Exactly about Yom. So therefore, they should bestow upon him a portion in bread from before Shabbos begins. Yaravu b'shalom and make the air for him. If he died on Shabbos and one of the members of the chotzer acquires this bequest, it's forbidden, he forbids. The lower meaning of Holy Vuchul. You don't say, well, it was what the beginning of Shabbos. We bestow bread on him, right? It's like but if the air was suitable to be sustained all of Shabbos, it doesn't have to be sustained all of Shabbos. But here the air wasn't suitable to be sustained all of Shabbos because he was a ghosis at the time Shabbos began. So he's imminently going to die, which will disrupt his participation in the Erev. And of course, does not say somebody dies suddenly. Because in this case, we know he's going to die from before Shabbos begins. Because he's dying right before Shabbos began. Members of the or one of the members of the marketplace comes. And then let's Shabbos to live here on Shabbos. So he's an oser, he asers. Everything which said previously, Shabbos, that's mutter by the Erev left by the deceased before Shabbos began. That's if he wasn't dying from before Shabbos began. El is only sick. Because most sick people get better. But the Erev is kind of Shabbos. At that point, we could have said that the Erev would be sustainable of Shabbos. Even a child asks from the members of the yard when he has a house and the participant in the Erev. I feel that even so little, such a minor, they can't eat a gazayis of grain. By the masses, he has ownership. As we said, a guest in the chutzner only asks us if he stayed there more than 30 days. Shin Ayin Beis Din Gagim Chatzes Karpefos Ora Beidin Birshuyos. Of roofs, yards, Karpefos, and many halachas about Rishuyos. Aleph, you should know the Shagozer Shlomo Basin al Erev, and when Shlomo Melech and his basin made a decree that one has to have an eruv. Lo gazal tilto bibayis. He only made a decree on carrying from one house to another house. Shebahen tashish tada, which is the frequent way of doing things. And each one has a separate dwelling place. To be an object which is on a roof, or in a yard, or in a car path. Which you don't use on a normal regular basis, only occasionally. You can carry from gag to chutz to the car path and back again, as long as you don't carry in or out of a house. There's no distinction of rishus between for cam which were began Shabbos in them as long as they were in the house. Who would tell Targum in Gagol Shel Reuven? Now Shimon carried from Reuven's roof to Shimon's roof. Aplo erev, even without an erev. Hey Gagol Shel Chatzer Shazan. So from this guy's roof to this guy's Chatzer, or Karpepel Shazan, or this guy's Karpav, Chayetzi B'Zeh, etc. Zel Sheshon Chachami in Mishnah, so the Chacham said Echad Gagos ve'Echad Chatzeros ve'Echad Karpepos. All the same halacha. Gag Chatzer Karpav. Kulan Rishus Echad Hem the Ochsim one Rishus. The Kalim Sheshab for vessels which were there and when Shabbos began. Not vessels which in the house of Shabbos began. That's the halacha. I mean, Gemara. The cloud varim and the general principle is the kol shu rishus hayel gomer. Any which absolute rishus yachim mo'elu sheklashavnu, like those you mentioned previously. Came mavi to belecha b'koren so to a mavi which is permitted to carry through a beam or a pillar. Mutarim batil to mechel l'sheni, you can carry from one mavi to another mavi. Hasheni or from one rishus yachid to rishus yachid, not from a bias, but rishus yachid, the chatzar, etc. Kem sheshav b'sachim, you carry from one to the other. Ava kem sheshav b'sachim bias, but kem which began in the house when Shabbos began. We're in the house when Shabbos began. Din bias yeshua, they have a halacha of house kelim. And therefore, even if later on it's standing in the yard, also you can't take it to your friend's yard. Or your friend's roof. Or karpa or your friend's karpa. Or mavui or to the out in the street. Shabbos, because when Shabbos began, when it was now schal alei, the prohibition devolved upon it. Shabbos, since the prohibition began at the time Shabbos began, Shabbos glass full of Shabbos. Left on the contrary, if the kid was in the Chatzah beginning of Shabbos, and then he took it in the house, which is permitted because they had the Eruv. And they took it out back in the Chatzah again. You can carry it even to your friends. Without an Eruv. That's a general principle. Base. Those hold the Amos Amrian, the Elu Kulam, which is Achas, and what we say, it's all one domain. So Eruv Kabati Shachatzer, when not all the houses in the Chatzah made an Eruv. Also tells me bias the Chatzzer. And in other words, they didn't. None of them made an Eruv. So Eruv Kabati. So therefore, the Chatzah is like cut off from the house. Therefore, they don't have household goods in the Chatzah. You're not going to talk to the Chatzah. I'm sorry, but if they made an Eruv, the Shchich Le'bayis B'Chatzah, then the can we often removed from the house of the Chatzah. You're not to talk to Chatzah, but allow you to carry from Chatzah to Chatzah. You talk to Gam Klei Bayis, only in Chatzah, go also take Klei Bayis. The beginning of a house where Shabbos are inside the house. The also so talk to Gam, therefore, in those circumstances, you can't carry it all from Chatzah from yard to yard. Afilu came Shabbos to Shulchan. Even came which began Shabbos in those yards. Again, there's according to the opinion that says that it's only going to be a kushus achas if there's no eruv connecting the houses with the chatzah. So for those the enchiluk ben eruv loyvu doesn't make difference if they made eruv or not. Feel eruv with time they made eruv, it's permissible. Logazin klei chatzah to klei bayis. We're not concerned you're going to mistake the klei bayis for klei chatzah. I have an example, but that would be like a xer on top of another xer, which we don't do. Poskin, roll-up poskin, most poskin pass this way, but chain, poskin, betur shulchan, and tur shulchan as well. Kimov, zel shan rambam, per kimov din yoches. Kol gag also here, all the rooftops of the city, api shizek above zenemo, even though one is high and one is low. Im kol chatzes and kol kafeos, with all the yards, with all the karpefos. Shehukfu shlo shem dira, which are not enclosed for the purpose of dira. Shem b'chol mechem yosef beis asayim. As long as each one doesn't have a more than beis asayim. Im ovi aksonish mechateres together with the thickness of the walls. Yeah, between the chateres, imam vos, sheish lem lechi b'kor. All of these, the chateres and garpefos, together with the mavui, which has lechi korah, kulam shusachasim. No one shus. Talim kulam below erev, carrying all of them without an erev. Kem shalom b'sochon kem, which began Shabbos in there. Avlokem shishavos l'chabayis, not kem, which began Shabbos in the house. And can erev unless there's an erev. Dal ketzad. How does this work? Klisha Shabbos. If you have a vessel which began Shabbos in the yard, ben erev ben lo erevu anshe chutz. Doesn't matter if people chutz made an erev among themselves or not. Mutar los me chutz agag, take it from the yard to the roof, or the rosh chutz to the top of the wall. Min agag agag, achas someone from the roof to another roof which is adjacent to it. I feel like a government matter, even the adjacent roof is higher than the first roof. Oh, namach matter lower. Min agag acher, you take from the other roof the chutz shnei to the second chutz. From the second chutzner, the gag shlishi, to the third roof, shel chutzner shlishi, the third chutzner. The gag shlishi from the third roof to the mavui, to the street. Mavui the gag ravi, from that street to the fourth roof. Actually, in a kolir kula, until you can go through the entire city. There are gagos chatzeres through roofs and through yards. But there are gagos and favors through roofs and the garpefos, which are kind of like the backyards, or like a rechava. Or there are chatzeres garpefos, or through the courtyards and the carpefos, or der shlasham zeh, or all three, one to each other. Umizel zeh, sorry, or der shlasham mizel zeh, mizel zeh. Ubilvad shleichos bekliza be'bayis min abatim. As long as you don't take it into one of the houses. And can erev, the only way to take it to houses, if there's an erev, kon shem becomes elu erev echad. For other people, these various in place, weigh one erev. V'cheinim shabbos b'keli be'bayis. Not sure what that is. You know, one of the chatzeros can make an erev for itself. That really means all together. If the kli began on Shabbos now, so he took it out of the chatzer, shouldn't take another chatzer. Or the gagech acher, or another roof, or the rosh hakoiso, or the top of a wall, or the karpov, or the karpov, and can erbuk anshe kol mekamis. That's its erev among all the people. Shem kliza eruv acher. Echad. Shema viren ben kliza eruv echad. Unless everybody has one eruv together. Rambam, v'ayim ashksalim b'simin, shem peches siv dal, which in Mr. Shem, we will get there when we get there.